Let's get right into it. Number 1, the predator stare. So, picture this. You're at a party, someone across the room locks eyes with you, and they just don't look away, not a blink, not a shift, nothing. Congratulations. You're now prey in the wild kingdom of social awkwardness. See, eye contact isn't just about saying, "Hey, I'm listening." It's also a primal throwback to when holding a stare meant, "I'm about to eat you." In animals, locking eyes can be a literal death sentence. Wolves, lions, even geese, yeah. Those feathered demons use unbroken eye contact to signal dominance or threat. Now slap that same behavior into a human social setting and it's instant nightmare fuel. When someone stares too long, your brain actually interprets it as a low-level threat. It's why you suddenly forget how to hold your drink, or why your face feels like it's doing too much. Psychologists call this the intimidation effect, but honestly, it just feels like being roasted alive by someone's eyeballs. And it gets creepier. Studies show that people who purposely overuse eye contact can manipulate conversations, making others feel powerless without saying a word. That's right, sometimes silence isn't golden, sometimes it's just terrifying. So next time someone stares too long, don't panic. Just remember, you're not socially awkward, you're basically a gazelle caught in the wrong National Geographic special. Number 2, the liar's glare. Here's a fun fact, liars don't always avoid eye contact. Nope. Sometimes they double down like they're trying to hypnotize you into believing their nonsense. Hollywood taught us that shifty eyes equal lying, but reality decided to troll us. Skilled liars often maintain more eye contact than truth tellers because they know you're suspicious. It's like, look deep into my eyes, and ignore the fact that I totally didn't just eat your leftover pizza. This trick works because humans are weirdly programmed to trust eye contact. Our brains release oxytocin, your trustworthy chemical, when we get consistent gazes, which means that liar with the puppy dog stare. Yeah, they're literally hacking your brain chemistry. Evil, right? The worst part, studies found that pathological liars are actually better at eye contact than the rest of us. They've practiced the art of the unwavering stare, like dark wizards casting spells of, "Yeah, I swear it's true." Meanwhile, honest people sometimes glance away because they're thinking, irony truth sounds like lying, and lies look like truth. So, next time your body insists they didn't text their ex at 2 a.m. while staring straight through your soul, good luck figuring that one out. It's basically a psychological staring contest, and spoiler alert, you're probably going to lose. Number 3, the creep magnet. Ever wonder why holding eye contact with strangers sometimes makes them approach you? Spoiler, you just activated the "come talk to me" beacon. In experiments, people who caught someone's gaze even for just a couple of seconds were way more likely to start conversations. Sounds wholesome, right? Until the wrong person decides you're their new best friend. Your brain interprets eye contact as an invitation. It's ancient wiring in small tribal groups. Gazes were like Wi-Fi signals. Hey, I see you, we're connected. But fast forward to modern times, and suddenly you're stuck listening to a stranger rant about cryptocurrency or their cat's gluten allergy. What's worse is the creep factor. Certain personalities, let's call them social barnacles, are especially drawn to unintentional eye contact. For them, it's not a polite signal, it's the bat signal. And once you've locked eyes, they're attached to you like an emotional leech at the bar. So, yeah, eye contact can literally summon people you never wanted in your personal orbit. Moral of the story, wear sunglasses indoors. Sure, you'll look like a pretentious DJ, but at least you'll dodge conversations about Karen's essential oils pyramid scheme. Number 4, the eye contact tax. You ever notice how exhausting it is to just look at someone for too long, like your eyes aren't even doing anything, just chilling in their sockets, but somehow your brain's acting like you ran a marathon? That's because eye contact is basically a neurological power drain. Studies show that prolonged gazes force your brain to juggle two things at once, processing the other person's words and decoding their emotional state through their eyes. Spoiler, the brain sucks at multitasking. So instead of calmly nodding along, you're internally screaming, "Do they mean that? Are they mad? Should I blink? Oh God, did I blink too much?" Every second you hold that stare, Your brain's CPU is burning like an overheated laptop. And it's not just in your head, people literally perform worse on cognitive tasks when forced into constant eye contact. That's right, trying to do math while someone stares at you is basically psychological torture. Think about it, it's why staring contests feel like gladiator battles. You're not just fighting eyelids, you're fighting the raw energy drain of being socially on, which means the real dark side of eye contact. It's charging you rent in brain power, and you didn't even get to opt out. Number 5. The romance illusion. Yes, the classic eyes meeting across the room moment. Hollywood loves to sell us on the idea that eye contact is some kind of soulmate detector. Lock eyes for 3 seconds, and boom, you're halfway to a Nicholas Sparks novel. But here's the twist, science says those swoony sparks, they're often just misfired chemicals. Researchers found that prolonged eye contact can trick your brain into releasing dopamine and oxytocin, the same chemicals behind falling in love. Basically, your brain is like, oh, we're staring, must be romance time. But the awkward reality is that it doesn't mean you found the one. It might just mean you've locked eyes with Chad from accounting, and now your brain is lying to you about destiny. Even worse, this little brain glitch works both ways. Stare too long at someone, and they might convince themselves they're into you even if you were just zoning out. That's why speed dating events often encourage longer eye contact. It creates a cheap, artificial intimacy. So yeah, that romantic gaze might not be love at first sight. It might just be your nervous system slapping a fall in love sticker on whoever wandered into your visual field. Basically, eye contact is like a free trial subscription to Netflix. Love you didn't sign up, but congrats, you're enrolled. Number 6. The uncanny blink. Here's a fun, creepy detail you never asked for. People subconsciously match blinking patterns during conversations. Yup, like 2 weird robots syncing their software. Normally, this is a subtle social glue. It keeps things feeling smooth. But if the blinking gets out of sync, oh boy, your brain throws a little panic party. Ever had a conversation where someone blinked either way, too little or way too much? You can't focus on anything they're saying because your inner caveman brain is screaming, something's wrong with this one. Too few blinks comes off as predatory. Too many makes them look nervous, untrustworthy, or like they've just mainlined 5 espressos. And here's where it gets darker. Psychopaths and manipulators often use controlled blinking, slowing it down intentionally to maintain an eerie, unbroken stare. That's why horror villains always feel so unsettling they barely blink. It's not just acting, it's hacking your brain's blink radar. So, yeah, next time you're talking to someone and their blink timing feels off, don't ignore it. Your brain is basically running antivirus software, and it just detected creepware. Number 7. The power stare. Alright, let's talk about the corporate jungle. You know those boardroom meetings where one guy leans back in his chair, folds his hands, and just stares. That's not laziness, that's power theater. In human psychology, eye contact is a literal dominance play. The longer you can hold it without breaking, the more alpha points your brain assigns you. It's basically arm wrestling with your eyeballs. Presidents, CEOs, cult leaders, they all use this trick. Studies show that when people in positions of authority maintain unbroken eye contact, listeners are more likely to agree. Even if the words coming out of their mouth are nonsense, it's the social equivalent of saying, I control the Wi-Fi, and you're just lucky to be logged in. But here's the kicker, it only works when it's a one-way power dynamic. If you try to stare down your boss, chances are you're not being seen as confident, you're being seen as the intern who's about to get fired. Context matters, which means the power stare isn't universal, it's situational dominance cosplay. So next time your manager's giving you that long, unbroken gaze, just know they're not connecting with you as a human. They're basically installing intimidation, XE, into the meeting. Number 8. The fear feedback loop. You've probably felt this before, someone staring at you, and suddenly you're hyper aware of every tiny thing you're doing. You cross your arms, you uncross them, you scratch your face, and guess what? The more nervous you get, the harder they stare, because they're picking up on your discomfort. That, my friends, is the fear feedback loop. Here's how it works. Prolonged eye contact raises your anxiety, which makes you act twitchy. Your twitchiness signals to the other person that something is off, so they keep staring to figure it out, which, of course, just makes you more anxious. Congratulations, you're now the star of your own psychological doom spiral. This happens a lot in job interviews, where eye contact is cranked up to insane levels. Interviewers want to see if you're confident, but what they're actually doing is triggering the same stress response as a tiger circling its prey. And if you've ever wondered why you blurt out dumb answers in those moments, yeah, blame the loop. Your brain is too busy screaming, "Stop looking at me," to form a coherent sentence. So, basically, the fear feedback loop turns polite social behavior into an accidental anxiety Olympics, the prize sweaty palms, and a desperate urge to fake a bathroom break. Number 9. The stare of guilt. Here's a classic parenting move, the guilt stare. You know, when your mom didn't even need to yell, she just locked eyes with you across the dinner table and boom, you instantly confess to everything you've ever done wrong, including stuff she didn't even know about. Eye contact amplifies feelings of guilt because it's tied to shame, wiring in the brain. When someone looks directly at you after you've done something shady, it feels like they're shining a moral flashlight straight into your soul. Even if they don't know what you did, your nervous system does, and it'll happily sell you out. This is why cops, teachers, and judges rely so heavily on direct stares. It's not magic, it's psychological pressure. Studies show that guilty people are far more likely to break eye contact, fidget, or blurt when stared down. Basically, the human brain caves faster than a cheap camping tent. The weirdest part, it doesn't even have to be a real human. Experiments found that even a pair of fake eyes printed on a poster can make people act more honestly, like paying for coffee in an honor system jar. Yep, our guilt circuits are so fragile that even cartoon eyeballs can keep us in line. Which means, technically, the real judge of society isn't the law, it's googly eyes. Number 10. The eye contact burnout. Ever had a deep conversation where, halfway through, you suddenly feel like your brain has melted and you just want to stare at the floor tiles instead? That's eye contact burnout. Our brains treat eye contact as a high-energy social event. It's like trying to keep every muscle flexed at the gym while simultaneously solving a Rubik's Cube and reciting Shakespeare. Eventually, something's gonna snap. Neuroscientists found that people's brains literally light up more during direct eye contact compared to looking away. That means your poor neurons are running hot every time you stay locked in. Which is why, after a long day of meetings or socializing, all you want is to go home, sit in the dark, and talk to no one, not even your cat. Especially not your cat, since cats are basically Olympic-level starers. And burnout isn't just social fatigue, it's also why eye contact can make introverts, neurodivergent folks, or people with social anxiety feel completely fried. Their brains are working overtime just to keep the normal eye contact rhythm going, which is why breaking away feels like gulping fresh air after holding your breath too long. So yeah, if you've ever bailed out of a conversation by pretending to check your phone, don't feel guilty. You weren't rude, you were just protecting your mental battery from exploding like a Samsung Galaxy circa 2016. Number 11. The horror movie effect. Ever notice how villains in horror movies love to stare, from Michael Myers' mask eyes to Pennywise's unsettling glare? Directors know that nothing freaks us out faster than the wrong kind of eye contact. It's baked into our biology. Eyes are supposed to signal connection, empathy, warmth. When they don't, when they just linger, it flips straight into uncanny valley terror. Psychologists call this the eye contact violation. When someone breaks the normal unspoken rules like staring too long, not blinking, or holding eye contact at inappropriate times, your brain interprets it as a red alert. It's the same alarm that would have gone off if you saw glowing eyes in the dark back when you were a caveman, except now it's going off at your neighbor who just likes to make strong eye contact. That's why horror directors don't even need jump scares. One long, unbroken stare from a character is enough to keep you awake at 3 a.m., replaying the scene in your head. The villain didn't even move, and somehow, that's worse. So yeah, the next time you catch someone staring just a second too long on the subway, good luck convincing your brain it's not the prequel to a slasher film. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.